Hello, my friends, and welcome to my quarter 1 favorite books. These are the best books that I read in January, February, and March. And it was quite hard to narrow my list down. I didn't want to just pick all of my favorites from those months. I've narrowed it down to, I think, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 books. And oddly enough, I don't own a physical copy of any of them, and I don't have a good reason for it. Only one of them is not yet released, but will be later in May, and the other ones, I loved them, so they're all going on my wish list to buy. We'll see. My birthday is coming up. Maybe some of these will sneak in when I purchase some books for my birthday. I did just finish filming a video for my membership, and I feel like my voice is still not recovered from pneumonia, and talking, can irritate it. So if all of a sudden my voice is cracking and stuff, that's why. I also just wanted to mention, if you guys are not already signed up to my newsletter / Substack, I would love for you to do so. I started sharing what I'm calling 7 on Sunday, which is just a newsletter that goes out on Sunday, and it's 7 things I'm loving or that have caught my attention in some way I'm inspired by. They could be book deals, they could be apps, they're just random things. And I'm enjoying putting that out. And often I will share at least a book that I'm reading or something bookish in there as well. I forgot to mention this when I was filming the video, but I am making a couple changes for the summer. I know it's technically not summer yet, but starting next week and continuing throughout the summer, my plan, always subject to change, always subject to deviation, is to go down to 1 video a week. There's a couple of reasons behind this, partially because I just don't read as much in the summer. I'm out busy doing things. I want to be embracing the summer. When we have warmth, I want to embrace it. I think a lot of people, if you're especially living in the southern states where it's warm, this is completely flipped for you time of year, but I just want to enjoy the weather that we have when we have nice weather. And so, yes, my plan is to go down to 1 video a week. I might change it. Sometimes it might be 2, but usually it will be my Thursday video. That's my plan. I would still love to do some lives, some reading sprints. I have plans. There just never seems to be enough time. So maybe with going down to 1 video, I will have more time. I'm also contemplating right now throwing some other videos up on my homeschool or personal channel. When I was sick, I went on a deep dive with different notebook videos. I love journals, notebooks, planners, etc. Might put a couple of those up on my personal channel. Not sure. Might do some homeschool stuff. Not sure. I'm kind of just leaving my summer a little bit more open, and I'm going to do what I want to do, what I feel like doing, but I do think that will be less videos here. So I just want to give you a heads up. If you want more videos from me, you can subscribe to my other 2 channels in case I put stuff up, or you can join my membership because they always get some extra videos each month there. Anyway, just wanted to pop in because I remembered that I forgot to tell you this. Back to the books that I loved for the first 3 months of the year. Okay, now let's dive in to all 8 books. I think these are in order that I read them. The first one is The Donor. I actually just barely this morning requested that my library purchase a copy of this. I try to do this with my favorite books. Unfortunately, my library refuses any independently published books, but hopefully they will approve this purchase. It's a great way to support authors because then their book gets into the library and people see it that might not have otherwise seen it. Anyway, this one is a YA thriller that is clean. I'm totally cool with my 15-year-old reading it. We have I think the main character is 17. I might forget the age a little bit. She is a really good hacker, or possibly a really bad one. The FBI has shown up at her door before because she's hacked into things she's not supposed to. And a couple of years ago, her dad died, and she was actually on a video call with him when it happened, and she is sure that he was murdered by the people where he works. And he works at a like medical facility. And then our other main character is the son of the head of this medical facility. I think he's also 17. He is going to be having heart surgery, major heart surgery, in 6 weeks. And that surgery only has a 20% success rate. So there's a good chance he'll be dead in 6 weeks. And he has always lived with this heart condition. So he's lived very much like wrapped in bubble wrap, very safe, I guess is a good way to put it. And now that he only has like 6 weeks to potentially live, he is being a little bit more daring, but like it's still pretty tame. Yeah, and I won't say much else because so much comes out as you read the book. I mean, it's a thriller. It's very fast-paced. There was also some really good humor in it, which I always love some good humor in my books. So definitely, I was going to say definitely recommend it. I'm going to say that for all of these because they're my favorites of the quarter. The next one is a Christina Suzanne Nelson, and that is Shaped by the Waves. And in this book, our main character is Cassie, and she is a single mom with a young daughter. I want to say she's like 4. And at the beginning of the book, Cassie's aunt who raised her has a health crisis. And so Cassie goes back to where her aunt lives, where she grew up, and is trying to help her aunt who has been diagnosed with Parkinson's, and also trying to help run her aunt's coffee shop. And while she's there, some things come out about her childhood that leave her with a lot of questions. And then we also get little snippets of kind of like Cassie's nemesis in high school. I think her name was Nora. She grew up never knowing her mom, and she decides to submit a DNA test to try to figure out who her birth mom is. I really appreciate how Christina Suzanne Nelson tackles like really deep topics and doesn't make things turn out like perfectly, you know, tied with a bow at the end. I also like how she crosses genres. Like in many ways, this book I would say is like contemporary fiction, but there's also like definitely like a mystery element to it with also some historical elements. So I love it when you can get like these cross-genre books. I've pretty much loved every book that I've read by Christina Suzanne Nelson. So if you don't want to read that one, try another one of hers because they're all great. Well, I haven't read all of them, but all the ones I've read have been great. Then we have Crisscross by C.C. Warrens. This is a really good Christian suspense book, and I've talked about it before. So we have a young woman, she might be like 28, who is in this situation where someone is after her. And of course, a detective gets assigned to her case. And in every other Christian suspense book, he would be the same age as her and they would fall in love. But actually in this one, it's more realistic, and he's like the age of her father, or the age her father would be, and becomes kind of a father figure. She has an incredibly hard time trusting him because she doesn't remember the first 10 years of her life. And then the next 10-ish were spent in foster care, and some of them were very traumatic homes. And yeah, it seems like somebody is stalking her and out to get her, and she doesn't know who to trust. A lot to do with that memory loss from years before, also with the trauma of the things that happened in foster care. And it's definitely like a gritty, I would say it's like clean but gritty, depending on definitions, but I really enjoyed it. I think that it does a really good job tackling hard topics, but bringing in faith elements and having the light win out. So if you like intense but good suspense, definitely recommend it. And then I actually have a historical fiction on here, The Women of Oak Ridge. I really enjoyed this book. I didn't know anything about Oak Ridge and the secret city and the atomic bomb that was built there, and I just thought it was fascinating. So this is dual timeline. We are set in the 40s at Oak Ridge while this atomic bomb is being built. Our main character is a messenger. She has a bike and she goes between buildings and delivers messages, packages, and things. She has no idea what's being built at Oak Ridge. I think a lot of people didn't know what was going on. And then we also are in the 70s with the main character from the 40s, her niece. Her niece is doing a paper for university about the secret city, and she goes to live with her aunt for the summer to ask questions of her aunt and other people there and just find out more about it. But her aunt is very resistant to answering the questions, and you feel like something happened. And so there is also like a mystery element that gets brought up throughout the book. Very much enjoyed it. I can't remember if this was my first or second Michelle Shockley, but I think I've already read 3 of her books this year so far. Diving down a rabbit hole, for sure. Then we've got Theo of Golden, which is so funny. It has such mixed reviews. Like, I've heard so many great things, and then some people are let down because I think they hear so many great things, and then some people refuse to read it because it is so popular, which is fine. I went into it being told that not much happens, so I think that helped me. It was recommended to me, but also related or compared to A Gentleman in Moscow, which I didn't enjoy because I kept expecting something like to happen all the whole book. I would say it's very similar to A Man Called Uva, but kind of like inversed. In Theo of Golden, we have this 86-year-old man who comes to Golden for a time period. There is a coffee shop that has these portraits on the wall, pencil portraits done by a local artist that are for sale, that aren't really selling, and he decides he's got lots of money. He's going to buy each portrait one at a time and return it to the person that it is of. And then every time he meets them, he tells them like something he sees in their portrait, like their strength or their kindness. And it's amazing to see how he just inspires this whole town or city or whatever it is, like one person at a time, and how his small, kind words can completely change someone's life. And it just makes me aspire to be someone like that. I really enjoyed it. Next up, kind of a surprise that this one ended up on here because I've wanted to read it for so long, but put it off because I kind of thought it was going to be boring. And that is Miss Bunkle's book. This, I think it was written in the 30s. And we have Miss Bunkle, who is, I think, in her 30s and financially not doing so well. So she decides to write a book about the people of her village, but change all the names. And the book gets picked up, it gets published, and the people of the town are just in an uproar. They, especially like a couple of them, are determined to figure out who wrote this book. And none of them think Miss Bunkle could have written it because she's so like mosey and quiet and like just like people don't really even notice her. Like they know who she is, but like they also just don't think of her. And what is funny is for half of the book that Miss Bunkle wrote, it's like normal people in town. And then partway through, this piper comes over a hill and into town and things change. And it's interesting that some of these things that happen in the second half of her book actually start to happen in her town as well. And I just loved it. There was also this character named Sarah, who is the doctor's wife who loves to read. And a bunch of people think that she wrote the book. And I don't know, there were some quotes about Sarah that I really liked. There's a young girl that comes and lives with her grandma, named Sally, who I just really enjoyed, and she gets to become friends with Miss Bunkle. And I'm very excited to continue the series. I wish, like, it's really hard to find physical copies, at least for me. I wish they were more easily accessible, but thankfully my library has the first 3 out of 4 books on Libby, so I will probably just read them that way. I definitely want to continue. Then we've got another thriller. This is Vacation Friends. Oh, this one is so good. We're set in Hawaii. We've got this woman who is there for a corporate retreat because her fiance is part of this corporation, and one of 2 people potentially to be named, like, there are 2 people, one of which will be named CEO at the end of this retreat, and she tried to break up with him a month ago. He is very controlling and overbearing and annoying, but he convinced her to stay with him until after this retreat because she makes him look good. She regrets doing so really fast, but she does, and she comes to this retreat, and they're in Hawaii, and she gets to know some of the people that he works with, creates these vacation friends. But on one of the first days of the retreat, she gets a note that tells her that someone has some information for her. Before she went, there was these potential attempts on her life. It was hard to know, were they just accidents and coincidences, or is someone trying to kill her? And someone left her a note that made it sound like someone is trying to kill her, and they know who it is. So she goes to the beach to meet this person, but when she goes, she sees someone in the water. I think he was shot, and she tries to help him, but then she almost drowns, and someone pulls both of them out. But the man that was originally drowning and was shot ends up dying, so she doesn't get any information. And then she's kind of a suspect in this guy's murder. Meanwhile, more attempts are being made on her life. I really enjoyed it. I didn't know who done it. I was there for the ride. I didn't know what was going to happen next. Definitely recommend it. And then if you want a suspense book that has laugh out loud moments, I would recommend Spies, Lies, and Alibis by Natalie Walters. This is the book that is just coming out, I think mid-May. We have two childhood friends that drifted apart that are now both undercover, working for different mafia crime boss kind of people. And they meet each other kind of on a job, but they don't know that the other person's undercover. They think the other person is into shady business. We end up spending sometime, I think it's in Texas, but then also sometime in Italy. And I think I didn't mention the funniest part of this book. Well, I mean, there are multiple funny parts with our main characters that I really enjoyed. But the main male character has a grandmother that she just makes you want to snort your milk out of your nose kind of person. She'll phone him and she'll be like, how do I get my hands on a gun? Or I'm by a dumpster or in a dumpster on a stakeout. Can you get me this information or something? Kind of just the old grandma that I want to be, just causing a ruckus for fun, just being feisty. I don't know. It was so funny in many different ways. I really enjoyed it. And I have said, and I hope I'm right, that this hopefully will become a series. I feel like it's going to be. And I hope it is, because I just want to keep living in this world. And I hope that grandmother just keeps coming up as well. So there are my favorite books from January, February, and March, the first quarter. I'm trying quarterly, you guys, this year. I usually do trimesters because that's just how my brain functions. But hey, I will do what is normal this year and try quarters. Before we go, I've been meaning to share this for the whole quarter. I got a subscriber sent me a personalized song that she created, and I'm going to attach that to the end of this. I think it's very well done, very sweet. Her name is Louisiana White. I'm going to have her channel linked below. I don't think that she has any of her music on her channel yet, but she's got some great videos and shorts, so I would love it if you would listen to the song and go check out her channel as well. So thanks so much for joining me today.
In a quiet room, a cup of tea, pages turn like melodies. Every story feels like home. When you read, we're not alone. You take the words and let them breathe. Show the beauty we might miss. Between the lines you help us see more than words, humanity. With every book you gently say, slow down, feel more, stay awake. Chantel, you read with heart and grace, leaving light on every page. So we read on, inspired and true, because stories feel alive.